Okay. We're in section 12.7, and this is about quadratic functions. And quadratic functions is just a graph with a quadratic equation. Now remember, the f of x, I know sometimes it gets confusing, but remember the f of x just means y equals x squared. And we've kind of already done this before. So this is y equals 4x squared. We talked about the parent function, which is this one. It starts right here. And so anything determined what's in front of this x will change the characteristics of the parabola. So for instance, take this one. This is our parent function. It just means f of x means of x squared is just the same thing as y equals x squared. If we plugged in terms for those, this would be the graph that it represents. This one just changes exact same, but look, there's a negative out here in the front of it. So it turns our parabola upside down. So this is the one it's a happy face. This one is our smiley, or this was our happy face, and this is our frowny face, just because this is negative, like a negative Nelly. So right here we have a 4 now in front of this function, and this is our function. This is the input for the output. This is the function, the job that it does. When you have a number out in front of it, it causes it to get steeper. So the greater this number, the steeper or the skinnier that this parabola becomes. Same thing happens here, but it changes a bit. If you have a fraction out in front of it, it causes it to get flatter. So this one they use the term steeper. This one is flatter. I know it's probably not politically correct, but this one is my skinny one. This is my fatter one. So that's how I can kind of remember it. We will touch on this a little bit in our homework, but and you'll see it, and you'll just be doing input and output for different functions and figuring that out. A lot of you will be able to remember on how far it's going to move down, and I'll go over that again with you. But I just want you to have this. It is in your book. Use your book. Use Khan Academy to be able to help you figure some of these out. So use the notes that I do for you. You can put them on your homework paper and then do your homework at the end. I'm not going to be able to collect binders, so or your notebooks for you. But remember that on your grades too, because you don't have that extra cushion on your grade before you take a test. So your homework for tonight will be, we will do some graphing with this, but most of all, I want you to look, and so you will have to have some graph paper, but we're going to start with number 3. So let's look at number 3, and at the instructions say, for each function, find f of 0, f of 2, f of negative 1, and 4. So f of 0, f of 2, f of negative 1, and f of 4. Okay? So we're doing number 3. This just means this is x. So they give f of x. So this means I'm going to substitute it in here each time. I'm just going to do it. So the first one, the function that they give us is x squared minus 4. So I'm going to put f of 0, which means 0 squared minus 4, which means 0 minus 4 is negative 4. So when x is 0, this is y. So my point would be 0, negative 4. That's it. F of 2, this is y. Same thing as y right here. I'm going to put that above here. 2 squared minus 4. Well, 2 squared is 4. Minus 4 is 0. So the next point is, this is 2. X is 2, so y is 0. F of negative 1. I'm plugging that in for x. Negative 1 squared minus 4. Well, that's 1 minus 4, which is negative 3. So x is negative 1. That means y is 3. F of 4. So that means 4 squared minus 4 Well, 4 squared is 16 minus 4 is 12. X is 4, so therefore y is 12. That's what you're going to be doing on those. Let's do number 5. I shouldn't have erased those because those are the numbers that we need again. Okay. 5 is f of x, so they want us to use I just totally did that wrong. So our function this time is f of x equals negative 2x squared. So this is negative 2 times 0 squared. Well, 0 squared is 0, and 0 times 2 is 0. So the point for this one is 0, 0. This is negative 2 times 2 squared. Well, 2 squared is 4, and 4 times negative 2 is negative 8. So my point for this one is 2, negative 8. This is negative 2 times negative 1 squared. Negative 1 squared. Negative 1 squared is 1, because negative 1 times negative 1 is 1. And negative 1 times 2, negative 1 squared is 1, and 1 times negative 2 is negative 2. So my point for this one is negative 1, negative 2. Negative 2 times 4 squared. 4 squared is 16. 16 times negative 2 is negative 32. My point for this one would be 4, negative 32. That's it. You're done. Now, on page 514, the next page, we're going to look at number 9. They give us the function, which is, this is number 9. We're going to do number 11 as well. The function, direction, actually I'm going to have to move this way over. So function, direction of opening, that's whether it's going up or down. Frowny face, smiley face. Where does it start? Where is its point of vertex at? And the minimum or maximum at its vertex. This is all vertex, min or max. And comparison, compare to parent function. I'm just going to put compare to parent, which is f of x equals x squared. Okay, so the function that they give us is f of x equals 4x squared. Well, first, if I look at that, is it going up or down? Is it positive or is it negative? So when we look at that, it's positive up here in the front, so it is going to be going up. Where does it start? So where is its vertex? So its vertex is 0, 0. And then minimum or maximum. And then we also have the comparison to that. Where do they talk? Okay. So when we talk about minimum and maximum, our minimum is where we're going to be having where it's a positive. It's going like that. It's opening up. It's positive. So this is our minimum because it's positive. And compared to our parent function, it's steeper or skinnier. Okay, number 11. F of x is our function equals negative x squared plus 4. The direction that it's going, it's negative, so it's going down. And our vertex, this time, it is going, we have to pay attention to this right here, the plus 4. So it is 0, 4 is our vertex. And it is at a maximum. That's its maximum spot right there. This is its minimum spot. It's not going to go any further here. This is the maximum place that it's going to go on the y-intercept. And this one is, compared to this, it's the same because it's an x squared. Even though it's negative, it's same as the parent function here. So this one would be the same. So remember when we have a, like a vertex, like number 17, for example. We'll do number 17 because we're going to graph that one. So number 17, our function is x squared, f of x, which is the same thing as y, x squared minus 1. So you're going to graph each quadratic. So remember, for our parent function, zero, negative 1 is our vertex, which is going to be here. My next 2 points are on the outer part and they come right up on each side. The next point I'm going to pick to figure out where they are on this is I'm going to pick negative 2 and 2. So I already know 0, because see, if I put that in right here, 0 squared is 0 minus 1. There's that one. If I pick 1, it's going to be 0. 1 squared is 1, minus 1 is 0. I'm going to pick my negative 1 point. Negative 1 squared minus 1 is 0. So now I'm going to pick 2 and negative 2. And once I get those points, then I'll come back up to see the graph better. So 2 squared is 4. 4 minus 1 is 3. Negative 2 squared is 4, and 4 minus 1 is 3. So we're going to go back to our points over here. And I have 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And it mirrors it over here as well. So now I have my parabola. So that's what you're going to be doing when you're doing some of the graphing ones on here. And you don't have very many. I think you have 3 that you're going to graph. So that's what the lesson is over today. I think the other part that we just want to recall on is on the steepness, or if it's flatter, just by using a fraction with it. Also to recall where your vertex is based on your parent function. So please, 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 please graph these on graph paper. Make sure that they are uploaded and sent to me so that I can get those graded and recorded. You guys have a great day.